From throwing away interesting storylines to killing off some of the show's most beloved characters, The Walking Dead has definitely made some pretty bad decisions over the years. For starters, fans were disappointed the show never wrapped up Virgil's story. While he may be a character that was here for a short time, Virgil definitely made a big impact. He was first seen in just 6 episodes, and although he wasn't exactly a main character,
I'm just trying to get home. I don't want to cause any trouble.
he still managed to make it on the villains list in season 10. However, he quickly redeemed himself when he found an injured Connie in the woods, and suddenly became the hero fans never knew they needed. In season 11, Virgil was seen spending time with Connie and even had a heart-to-heart with Judith. This was when they were reunited with Rick's group, but then he vanished, just like a ninja in the night. No one knows where he went, and he was never mentioned again, leaving fans with an unresolved cliffhanger. The way it was handled, it almost feels like they just kind of forgot about the character. It seems super bizarre when you think about it. Speaking of characters that got handled very weirdly,
Morgan. Why?
Morgan Jones deserves a mention. From saving Rick's life to schooling him on the apocalypse, this dude was always there for his friends. He even helped take down Negan. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. Fans loved him, characters loved him, and everyone knew he was a major part of TWD. But then, in 2018, the showrunners decided to send Morgan on a spin-off adventure in Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, it might have brought some new viewers to Fear, but it left a huge hole in TWD that nobody could fill. I personally don't quite get the logic behind making the main show worse in favor of a spin-off. But hey, I'm sure the execs over at AMC probably had some reasoning behind this 4D chess move. Next, it wouldn't really be a list of the worst decisions from The Walking Dead without mentioning this moment. Yep, it's Negan and Alpha getting intimate in the woods. It's no secret that during an apocalypse, finding time for romance is a bit difficult. Fans of The Walking Dead saw the early stages of Glenn and Maggie's relationship, and even got a glimpse of Rick and Michonne's private moments.
You know, this feels like some sort of fraternity initiation.
But hey, things took a turn for the cringe-worthy when Negan and Alpha got busy in the woods during season 10. I mean, who thought we needed to see that? While some might say these two villains were made for each other, there was really no need for this scene to progress the plot. Plus, it was pretty gross to watch. Of all the moments from the show, I'm certain this is pretty high up on the list of ones people want to erase from their minds. It sort of felt like it was done just for the shock factor, and that's never really a good reason to add anything to a series, let alone something as gross as this. This isn't even the only case of the show messing up a relationship.
Nothing wrong with that.
Fans were also not happy with Carol breaking up with Ezekiel. From an abusive marriage to a brief romance with Tobin, Carol went through some tough times on the series. And it wasn't until she met Ezekiel in season 9 that Carol finally found someone she clicked with.
Are you going on the hunt? Sure am. Got a problem with that?
Engaged and with an adoptive son, things were looking up for the couple until tragedy struck and their son died. It was a real heartbreaker that left the two of them broken up by the season's end. And to make matters worse, breaking them up didn't really serve any purpose. After all, they remained good friends until the series ended. What a roller coaster ride of love and loss for our girl Carol. It just felt like a choice the writers made to make the audience feel even worse for her. But they disregarded the fact that it didn't really make sense if you thought about it logically. Though, logic is definitely what went out the door quite a lot of times when talking about The Walking Dead. Like the time when Eugene ended up burning his book. Fans may remember Eugene as the kind of nerdy, mullet-wearing guy who's been around since season 4. Well, his storyline had been kind of dull lately, but in season 10, he started forming a relationship with a lady over the radio. And after going through a whole lot of trouble to meet her, they fell in love. So, sweet, right?
I'm the one you were talking to on the radio.
But there's more. In season 11, Eugene reveals that he's been writing a sci-fi novel. For a while, it seemed like this was going to somehow be a major plot point. But boy, were the fans wrong. Because before we can read the book, Eugene commits the worst sin of all. He burns every last page. Why, Eugene? Why? So much potential wasted, and fans never hear about it again. Such a shame. For a show that's gone on this long, you'd think they may have discussed some integral things already. but the series never even delved into the evolution of the walkers. In the early days, there was only one type of zombie, the classic slow, shambling kind. Comparatively, The Last of Us had a whole curriculum on the different types of zombies and how to kill them, and it looks like the writers of the show may have decided to take some inspiration. Because of this, things started to get interesting towards the end of TWD when fans finally saw some new zombie tricks. The zombies began to evolve, and they were even starting to regain some of their human qualities, like climbing and picking things up. It was like watching a wild animal slowly learn how to use tools. Safe to say, it was fascinating and terrifying at the same time. But as soon as fans got a taste of this new walker evolution, the writers decided to pack it up and never speak of it again. And just like that, fans were left with the same old zombies they've had since the beginning. I guess some zombies just don't have the brains to evolve. It wouldn't be a complete list without mentioning some unneeded character deaths.
If me dying could stop this, if it can make things good.
And Carl definitely takes the cake in that regard. Fans are used to seeing a lot of death in the show, from Dale to Dwight, but let's be honest, none of those deaths made them scream into their pillows as much as Carl's. The guy was a fan favorite from the very beginning, and to see him go out like that was just pointless. Carl was a fighter.
Now give me the gun.
Always ready to take on whatever the apocalypse threw his way. And let's not forget his sweet little romance with Enid. Plus, he was the only real family Judith had left, and everyone knows how important family is in the post-apocalyptic world. But no, let's just go ahead and kill off one of the best characters in the show for no good reason. Sure, his legacy lived on, but that doesn't make up for the fact that fans had to watch Rick, and all of us, suffer through that tragedy only 8 seasons in.
We're the ones who live.
But the worst decision is probably the fact that the show ended on a cliffhanger. After 11 long seasons of battling walkers and surviving the apocalypse, The Walking Dead had a lot of questions to answer. Like, will there be a happy ending for everyone? Will Daryl finally live out his dream of eating croissants in France? And where the has Rick been hiding all this time? Well, with so many spin-offs in the works, the final episode was full of cliffhangers. It was like they ran out of time and just decided to leave everyone's stories open-ended. I mean, come on, fans need closure. It's not like the zombies are going anywhere. That's all for the worst decisions made in
The Walking Dead.